Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. Thank you as always for joining. Recently in our Trading Edge series, we've been talking a lot about the CTS system, the CTS strategy. And as promised, I'm here today to share with you a behind the curtain look at a lesson that we did with our members over at Tier 1 Trading. Now, if you're new to the channel, don't worry, or maybe be warned if you are looking for something like this. The CTS system, the CTS strategy isn't any type of get-rich trading strategy. It isn't any type of magic system that will change your trading fortunes forever. Rather, it is a way to organize the chaos, right? It was something that my mentors taught me when I was very young in my trading career. When I was learning about all these different things and all these different tools and techniques that I can use for technical analysis, but I got overwhelmed and had no way to really quantify them or organize them. And what the CTS system does, it allows us to take all of that chaos, put it together in a nice, organized way. That way we can be consistent in the market. And you guys know my saying, consistent analysis plus consistent execution equal consistent results. Now, before we get into the video, speaking of organized chaos, many of you guys know I recently had a new trading computer built, and you guys have been asking a lot of questions about it. Unfortunately, I don't know anything about tech, so what did I do? I went to this awesome free computer buying guide by Easy Trading Computers. And what it did was pretty much broke down what a trading computer needs, what each thing is, and why it's important or why it's not important based on what I want to achieve with my system. And the cool thing is I reached out to them afterwards and said, hey guys, second time buying a computer for you. Very happy, just want to show you guys love. And they said, hey, why not show your followers love as well? So there's a link in the description box below. You can sign up. You can get a free computer buyer's guide, which is going to be very useful whether you're someone that's looking to have a computer built or whether you're someone that's looking to build your own and just want some ideas about what type of parts you should include. And if you use the link in the description box below, they're also going to give you a little bit of a bonus if you do end up buying one through them. So check it out. And now let's check out this video. D-Nice says, today, I would really like to hear your insights about the following. How would you implement a CTS system into an existing strategy? Sure. What is your existing strategy? So let me know what your existing strategy is, and then I can tell you how or if a CTS type system could be implemented in it. Simple double tops or double bottoms. Ooh, easy one. All right. Easy one because double tops and double bottoms are part of the CTS checklist. So for you guys that are new, the CTS checklist is, CTS stands for Combined Technical Score. It was something that my mentors taught me as a way to quantify your technical analysis. So you know how we're looking all over the charts and you see like double tops and double bottoms and indicators and divergence and structure and even handled numbers and this and that and blah, 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 right? We have all this kind of, all of these ingredients that we have for our trading, and sometimes it can become overwhelming and sometimes we can be forgetful with the ingredients. So the CTS checklist, the Combined Technical Scoring Checklist, was a system that was put into place to quantify each of those technical things, for lack of a better term. So you would assign it a score based on how you value it. Things that you value more would have a higher score. So like major structure would be worth 2 points, while minor structure would be worth 1 point. And for me personally, I always had non-negotiables as well. And for me, a non-negotiable, so I'll take a back step. So basically, everything is assigned a score. And the way that the analysis worked is that as you performed the analysis, you would check the box on how many things that you have and add up the score. And then in your trading, you would have like a minimum score or like a ranging score depending on position sizing. So like, let's just say your score was like anything 4 is the minimum score I need to take a trade. So like if you did your analysis and everything equaled 4, then yes, you can take the trade. If it was 3, you couldn't take the trade. And then there was a step above that where you kind of, broke up the trade into different sections where if I have between 4 to 6, I take it with only a half position. If I have 6 to 12, I take it with a full position. So now you're, theoretically, the higher the score you have, the better the opportunity. So you're risking more, trading with more size on the better opportunities, trading with less size on the worst opportunities. What I personally liked about it, and this is where I found it the most helpful in my journey, is that it gave me consistency. So you can imagine Akil Stokes, young trader. I'm given all these superpowers, right? I'm given superpower after superpower after superpower. Superpower being the technical things I can use in the market. And I have no rhyme or reason on how to use these superpowers. So I'm just using all my powers recklessly, and I'm not really getting the job done, getting myself into trouble. Imagine like, I don't know if you guys are Spider-Man fans. It's like when Spider-Man first got his, I guess webs aren't his superpower. Well, I guess the webs are superpower. The web shooter was an addition to harness it. But like when Spider-Man first got his webs, and he doesn't know how to swing, he's just like spewing them everywhere. And like, I think he like gets himself into a web nest in his own house because he doesn't know how to use it. That was me in trading. I was spewing orders everywhere and getting stuck in a web nest. So what the CTS checklist did for me, it allowed me to become very systematic with how I traded and how I approached the market. And if you watch very closely, at how I analyze the market, let's not count yesterday because we've been kind of going straight to like the hourlies because of all the news. But I look for the exact same things in the exact same order every single time, right? So if you can imagine checklists, I never look for AB equals CDs first. I never look for Fibonacci's first. Let's see who's been paying attention. What is the first thing I always look at in my analysis? Again, you probably don't notice this. I notice it. What's the first thing I look for? Yeah, support and resistance, right? Because in my CTS checklist, that was always the first thing in my list. So I always look for support and resistance. For example, I will always draw on a fib before an AB equals CD, right? I always look for overboughtness and oversoldness right before double tops and double bottoms, right? So the CTS checklist gave me a process to follow. And I literally had it printed out on my wall where it was like, look for this, okay. Look for that, okay. Look for this, okay. Look for that, okay. And eventually I started off as trading CTS. And eventually I graduated from CTS as I got better and allowed myself to have more discretion. But I still follow the same process in my trading. So for me, the biggest gem of the CTS isn't necessarily the score, but it's the guidance, the fact that it kept me and keeps me aligned with consistently analyzing the markets the same way. You know my thing, consistent analysis plus consistent execution equals consistent results. Now, going back to the CTS checklist, what I always had and what I recommend is having something called non-negotiables. So yes, you have your CTS checklist, but for me, some things had to be present. So let's say my minimum score was a CTS of 3, right? So let's say I have a setup where it's like I have Fibonacci and I have RSI overbought and I have diversions, right? That's easily my 3 points right there. But if that setup is in the middle of no man's land, then that's not a setup I want to take. And then you have this dilemma where it's like, well, my eyes say we're not really in a place where I should be looking for a trade, but my score says you have 3 points, Akil, you need to take the trade. It goes back to, is your trading system or strategy aligning with your own personal beliefs? So for me, I had non-negotiables. So like one non-negotiable was structure. Like I could have a CTS of 84. The score only went up to 14. But like if it did go up to 84, I could have a CTS score of 84. If it wasn't at structure, I couldn't take it. Very early on in my career, I had an RSI overbought. I was really, really strict. I had an RSI overbought or oversold as a strict requirement. If that didn't happen, I could not take the trade. I had double tops and double bottoms as a requirement as well because that was my personal entry technique. So if that wasn't present, I couldn't take the trade. So I had this CTS checklist, but I also have my non-negotiables of like, yes, it had to have this, this, and this, and then everything else was kind of just like icing on the cake. So CTS was really, really, really cool. So going to double tops. So real quick, so bat patterns. Okay. So I guess you could. I'll do the bat pattern example. I believe you trade patterns in their own right by themselves, but we can talk about bat patterns as well. So simple double top, double bottom, right? So a double top and double bottom by itself is going to give you a point score, right? It's by itself is probably not going to meet the minimum point score that you would require to take a trade, right? So if you're someone looking for, if you like trading double tops and double bottoms, but you need more evidence that the double top or double bottom is at, well, you need more evidence that the double top or double bottom is likely to play out in your favor. And I want you guys to help. That's why I caught myself before I spoiled it. What else would you like to see? So type in, what else do you like to see with your double tops and double bottoms? Only type in one thing a piece though. That way one person's not hogging on all the spotlight. What's one thing you would like to see with your double tops and double bottoms? Because again, what does Akil always say? Double tops and double bottoms in their own right, pointless, in my opinion. Maybe a little bit harsh, but pointless. Divergence. All right, divergence. What else? Structure, I think Chris wrote in. I'm not sure if that was before or after I asked, but we'll take it. Structure. RSI, let's call it extreme. Overbought or oversold. RSI at the extreme. Good. What cartoon was that? Family Guy cartoon? Futurama, maybe. No test of previous structure and directional move before it. Yep, that wouldn't be in the CTS score, but that's good for verifying the validity of a double top or double bottom. So I like that. I'm not going to type it in, but I do like that. That's more of the rules of, is this a double top or not a double top? Not necessarily supporting the double top, but I do like that. Even handle numbers, yeah. Let's call it psych numbers. Psychological numbers, even handle numbers. Brendan says engulfing candle after the double top hits. Engulfing after. Higher time frame confluence. Higher time frame fibs. Look at that. You guys are on a roll. AB equals CD. AB equals CD. You're like butter because you're on a roll. Pattern, yeah. Could be inside a pattern, yeah. MACD divergence, yeah. We already had divergence on it, yep, divergence, but yeah, it could be from whatever indicator you use, yep. Volume, yeah. Good one, good one. Look at that. I didn't expect this list to get this long. Minor structure, RSI zones, yeah. All right, so we can stop there. You guys are going to go on forever. Crossing EMA, yeah, we can add that too. I already, there we go. We'll add one more. EMA cross, right? So, all of these things that you mentioned could be included in your CTS checklist and could be given a score. Now, I would say you don't want to take everything. You want to take what's important to you. So like if you don't care about EMAs, take it off. If you're like, well, I'm a pattern trader already by itself, so that wouldn't make any difference because I'm already trading patterns, take it off. If there's something else you want to add it, right? So you make it your own, right? But you would assign each of these a score. And then boom, now you've taken the core principle, which is what you want to do, which is trade a double top. You're saying to yourself, well, a double top by itself probably is going to be a very frustrating thing to trade. One, how can I develop supporting evidence to help this double top, to put me in situations where the thing I'm trading is more likely to happen than not happen? How can I increase my edge, which is so paper thin? If you saw that Trading Coach podcast video I did where I was flaunting the big bucks and then lost it immediately. It was perfect. I happened to have like a $50 bill on the table and I was doing an example on the edge. I just whipped it out. And like, yeah, all I do is carry 50s. That's one of my small bills. I use that to wipe my nose. That's why I just pulled it out the tissue box. $50 bill? Don't even waste my time with that. That's my smug voice, by the way. The voice I use with the valet as they're parking my 2005 Toyota Camry. Hey, don't scratch it, buddy. This thing's a classic. That's a cool voice. I'm gonna add it to my repertoire. It's better than that other voice I use. But yeah, so now we've created the double top, double bottom. And now we've created supporting evidence. So things that I like to see / want to see, if it's maybe mandatory, in order to give it confirmation. Now, what the CTS would do, it would allow you to quantify it. So you take whatever things you want out of this pot of jambalaya, right? My family's from the South, so we do that. And you assign the things that are valuable to you a score. The things that are, I would say, if it's a little bit valuable, give it 1 point. If it's, oh yeah, that's valuable, give it 2 points, right? And then you assign yourself a minimum. Well, if it's just trade or not trade, you assign yourself a minimum score to take the trade. So it's like, hey, I cannot take, if I have a CTS score of 4 and above, then I can take the trade. Does that make sense? Then again, you can take it to the next level if you want to do the ranging thing where it's like, hey, between 3 and 5, I trade a quarter position. Between 5 and 8, I trade a half position. Between 8 and 13, I trade a full position, right? You can do that as well. But yeah, you give it each thing a score. If there's any non-negotiables, you would highlight them because you have to have those. And then you add that score requirement to your trading strategy where you are a double top trader, right? But you require a CTS of blankety blank in order to take the double top. Does that make sense, guys? And now you've just quantified your trading. Now you've made it nice and easy, but you've also added more math. So haha, for you guys that hate math, you must do more math now. Sorry. Now the back testing is difficult because there's lots of moving pieces and there's lots of tests you need to do to kind of judge maybe what should be in there, what shouldn't be in there, what's valuable, what's not valuable, what's pointless, what has a point. It's a lot of moving pieces in back testing, which is fun and frustrating at the same time, depending on how you feel about back testing. But that is how you quantify it. How are you deciding which is more important, for example, volume or fibs? 2 ways you can do it. One, off of your personal value system. So if you don't care about volume, I wouldn't have it in there, right? I would never put anything in your trading that you just don't care about or don't believe in. It's just a waste of space. So if you're like, the volume thing is kind of bogus, like don't even put it in there. Take it out, right? Same thing with fibs. Like if you're like, it's voodoo magic fibs, whatever, this is stupid. Don't put it in there, right? Right? You don't want to trade things that you don't believe in, that you don't value. That's number one way. The second way is your back testing. So when you go through your back testing with the CTS, you should be keeping tabs of all the different things that are present or not present in your CTS. And then when you go through the data, and this is why I say it's fun because you're tracking all these different things, but frustrating because now you have to kind of like, hope you enjoyed the vid. Leave any questions or comments below. If you like what you saw, become a subscriber. Click that button wherever it is at, wherever you're watching this at. That way you don't miss the frequent videos that I put up, whether it is the shorts that I put up daily, whether it's the Trading Coach podcast that comes out 5 times a week, whether it's the Trading Edge video, which comes out on the weekend, or whether it's random videos like this. Stay in the loop when you hit that subscribe button. And until next time, plan your trade your plan. Take care.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain, I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints, money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague, we all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name, all our insecurities are on display.